All right, in this session we're going to cover the IABS, Information About Brokerage Services. What does it do, what does it mean, and is it required? Well, it's actually here to help the consumers understand the roles of the agents and the brokers, of what they play in real estate transaction. It's also to let you know the minimum services they should be providing to you before you enter into a agency relationship. It also has contact information down here. So in the event something comes up and needs to be worked out, you will have their supervisor information. Very important to keep, but let's go over this in detail so you can fully understand everything on this page. All right, one of the questions we're asking is this required? All right, right here you'll see Texas law requires all real estate license holders to give the following information about brokerage services to prospective buyers, tenants, sellers, and landlords. And the only way they can prove this to the state of Texas is by getting you to initial this form down here and date it as well. All right. If you'll notice, it doesn't ask you for any information about your address, your full name, or any contact information. This is just so they have this form on here to tell Texas they actually indeed give you a copy. All right, make sure you keep a copy as well, and they'll have this on record. Now, up here at the top it says types of real estate license holders. You got a broker and a sales agent. A brokerage is actually the one that's actually responsible. That's who you'll be getting an agreement with if you list or buy with them. The agent is working on behalf of them. All right, so a sales agent, or well, I should say a broker can be a sales agent, but a sales agent doesn't necessarily mean they are the broker. All right, the broker's minimum duties here is spelled out. The very first one is the most important one. Put the interest of the client above all others. All right, so in other words, if it's in the best interest for these two people not to be working, the agent needs to let you know that. Maybe the best interest is for you not to sell or buy. They'll let you need to know that as well. Now, they can only go on the information that is provided to them. All right, so keep that in mind as well. Also, they need to inform the client of material information, anything about that property that's received by the broker. They need to let you know that as well. They need to answer all your questions. Also, prevent any offer. Look, if you're listening with an agent and somebody offers you half, they're obligated to give you that offer unless you instruct them otherwise. You may instruct them and say, I don't want to accept nothing below this. Well, that's between you and the agent, but they are obligated, supposed to give you any and all offers they receive. All right. And the last one is pretty much the same in anything you do. All right, treat all parties honestly and fairly. Do unto others as you would have them do it to you. All right. So now you're going into the license holder can represent a party in real estate transaction, and it defines as agent for the owner, as agent for the buyer, and as agent for both, intermediary. All right. Now the one that people get confused is this last one, intermediary, which means it's going to be the same brokerage that's going to be handling the buyer and the seller. That doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be the same agent that's going to be representing the buyer and seller, although it could mean that as well. But it basically means the brokerage. Well, if it's like eXp Realty, well, the eXp Realty is going to be representing the buyer and the seller. And again, it could be two different agents. And they got a way to spell all that out, and they'll need to disclose everything to you. All right, a subagent. Subagent, if you're going around looking at a property, agent is showing you the property, and you do not have a written agreement, that is what they consider a subagent. All right, and typically the subagent is responsible to the home seller. So that is why it would be in the best interest of the buyer to enter in a written agreement with a buyer's agreement with the agent, so they can represent their best interest. Otherwise, they'll have to look out for the seller's best interest. All right. Now, I'll go over that on a different video. All right. To avoid disputes, all agreements between you and a broker should be in writing and clearly established. I know myself, I do not enter any agreement unless it's written out and signed by all parties involved. All right. And the written agreements will dictate all this information between the buyer or the seller and the broker. Now, license holder contact information, this is provided. Now, this is why I was talking about some good information to keep. In the event something comes up, you got everybody's name. That's my name, my license number, email, phone number, and then you got my immediate supervisor, their information, and then the designated broker firm, designated broker of the firm, as well as the actual licensed broker information up here. All right. So before an agent will continue working with you, they'll probably ask you to sign this. And if you do not, I'm sorry, not sign, but initial. And if you do not initial, they may not, or may refuse to work with you because they could actually get in trouble if they don't have proof that they provided you this information. All right. I hope this helps. Take care and God bless. All right, my name is Gerald Enriquez, and I am a licensed real estate agent here in the state of Texas. And I hope you got some value out of that video tutorial. If you have any questions and or concerns, by all means, feel free to contact me. On my information should be here on this page or on my About page. Send me your questions, and I'll try to cover it in another video. That way, if somebody else has that same questions, they can benefit as well. Also, take a look around this YouTube channel. You might already see some questions that already are answered. Whether you decide to use me or not, you should be able to benefit from this. You or anybody else that's planning on buying or selling a house. All right, take care and God bless.